welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lay. I am currently in Utah, and I had to warm up my truck before I started the video because it is freezing. Okay, all the way here it was snowing, which is very weird for March because I've been here December, January, and February, and it was no snow. It was cold, but it was actually snowing all the way here last night. And I was just like, for some reason I was so calm. Like, I don't even drive in the snow like that. I really don't. Like, I haven't drove in the snow since my first year of trucking, when I was doing all 48 states. And like the first time, of course I was scared. I used to be nervous as heck, but I was so calm, like, because I was really confused, like, why is it snowing in March? Like, what is going on here? But so the first, just to be completely transparent, because I can't suggest something to someone without telling them all of the things, right? Like, I don't want to just give the pros and not the cons. Hold on, let me turn on my mirror warmers, because that one got ice on it. But I don't want to just only give the pros, like, oh, you can save money and you could get out of debt and you could buy you could buy yourself, you'll become a homeowner and drive your dream car, and like, no. I didn't did all that. Now let's talk about the other side of trucking, right? Let's talk about the nitty-gritty. So you're gonna want to drive a winter. I'm just telling you. You're technically not a real driver until you drive a winter. Like a full winter. Like, you gotta go through the snow. Like, you have to experience all the elements. That's the beauty of going over the road the first year. Now, I only was over the road for 9 months, but so as long as you get a winter in and maybe a fall and in a spring you get something else in, you don't necessarily have to do a whole year. But you do definitely want to get a winter, because you learn more things about the truck. Like, as you go on as a trucker, like, you're gonna realize that we do a lot more than just drive this truck. Okay, we are fake mechanics. We are we do all types of stuff. The biggest one is a fake mechanic for sure. Like, there's a lot of things that, instead of waiting for for some reason I just lost my train of thought. I just started thinking about something else. But a lot of times, instead of waiting for roadside assistance that can take hours sometimes, depending on where you are, like if you're in the middle of nowhere, somebody might have to drive 2, 3, 4 hours to come get to you. You know what I mean? So, like, the more you learn about the truck and the more you know about the truck, and if you can, like, fix it yourself and keep it going and keep moving, until you get, maybe to a shop, or you get to a truck stop, or whatever that looks like, and you can actually, get it checked out, or get your company to pay for the proper repairs. But if you can get something, for example, I guess this truck, my company just got this truck, so I have some magnets on the side of the truck right now. And luckily, when I was still in Vegas, one was kind of like coming off. I taped it up real quick. Like, okay, like, I don't have time. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta go get this load. It's, you know what I mean? I gotta be on time. Everything in trucking is about time. So I taped the little magnets on the truck and kept pushing. You know what I mean? Like, simple stuff like that. Like, I used to have a toolbox. Now my company, now our trucks are, since I drive for Amazon, the trucks are like 2 years old. Like, I don't need to. There's nothing major going on, except the other day, actually, my what is it called? My transmission went out. The transmission literally was like the dash. I had finished my whole tour or whatever, went to Cali, did some stuff out there, came back. I was coming to Vegas. I had to drop off at the airport in Vegas. They unload the I set up, and then I was done after this. I set up to back up to dock the trailer, and the transmission went out. Lord, like, I couldn't back up the trailer. Like, it wouldn't go in reverse. I had to, like, shut it off. This is what I mean by a fake mechanic. I had to go in the back, hit the kill switch, turn the truck off for about 10 minutes to be able to put the car, so the system can, like, recalibrate, whatever the heck it needed to do, so I can actually drop the trailer and pull forward so somebody else could back it up, because the tractor would not go in reverse for nothing. It was so crazy. And I had to keep, like, so when I pulled from under the trailer to, like, move it out the way so somebody else could back the trailer in, the transmission started tripping again. Like, I couldn't put it in reverse, or I couldn't put it forward. I had to turn the master switch off again. I had to hit the kill switch again for like 20 minutes this time, and wait, and then as soon as it came back on, I just hurried up and went back to the yard, just so, and set it by the mechanic tent so the mechanic could fix it. You know what I mean? But, like, sometimes you have to kind of figure out quick fixes so you could keep going. You know what I mean? And you're not stuck and you know, waiting for roadside, or, you know what I mean? Like, you just sitting there waiting for help. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be proactive and you want to learn more things about the truck. And as you go through the different seasons, like, there's different things you have to do. For example, one of the things is the fuel under certain weather, which Utah luckily isn't that cold, but I want to say anything under 30, I want to say there's this liquid something that you have to put in the gas tank, or else your fuel will freeze and you won't be able to go nowhere. You won't be able to start the truck and drive off because your fuel will be frozen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just different things that you got to know and prepare for. Sometimes you might even have to change your tires depending on how bad the weather is. You might have to change your tires, or you might not even be able to drive. They'll shut roads down sometimes. Like, oh no, there's no, you know, you can't drive in this condition at all. It's unsafe. It's totally whatever. Also, last night I seen a truck had jackknifed on the freeway out here in Utah. That was crazy. He was driving way too fast. You're gonna see these drivers flying. It's raining, snowing. I don't know who they think they are, but they flying, and he jackknifed. It was bad. It was bad. It was only one lane on the freeway. Luckily, it was like 12 o'clock at night, so it wasn't no traffic. It wasn't a lot going on the freeway, so I got to get straight through. And luckily, it was just him on the road by himself, because, man, that was he ran into the median. His tractor was facing me as I'm coming. What was I was going north, so his tractor was facing south, because that's how he jackknifed. His trailer, so he was like this on the freeway. His trailer was like slanted, covering up 3 lanes. His tractor was facing me against the wall right here on the freeway, and I'm like, dude, thank God nobody else was on this freeway with you, because you would have done some damage. Then on the way to Salt Lake City, there was a car flipped over on its side against the wires that's you know, that just separates you going too far, I guess, in the desert, in the grass field or whatever, which was a far enough amount, so no telling what the heck, going too fast, I'm sure. And it flipped, because it was far, like, that wire was far into the field, and he was just flipped over, and it was a cop sitting there. It was like 8 o'clock at night. It was a cop sitting there, and he had his bright light flashed on the car, and the car is upside down, and I'm like, Jesus, like, and that's what you'll see. I remember, dang, I don't remember what state I was in, but it was snowing. I promise you, every half mile there was a car flipped over. There was a semi flipped over, or a semi that had lost its traction and slid into the median. And I'm like, every half mile, like, it's crazy. I'm telling you, like, one of the things that I do when I come out here, because honestly, like, every trip is different. Every tour is different. Like, you never know what's gonna happen out here. You know what I mean? So the biggest thing I think about is, you know, I don't want my family to get that phone call that, you know, Malaysia has flipped over, or, you know what I mean, Malaysia's been in an accident. You know, so I am extremely careful. Extremely. It was dark last night in the middle of a snowstorm. Everybody, we going like 30 miles per hour. Everybody got our hazard lights on. You want to follow the tire. You want to be, you want your tires to be on the same path of tires before you. You don't really want to be driving on the snow, because that's how you can, you know, slide around. You want to stay to the right, of course. The left, now everybody was in the right lane like last night, because it was too risky to go around. Couldn't really see that far ahead. You could really see just right in front of you. That's why it was important to have everybody have their hazard lights on, because you wouldn't even be able to see the car in front of you. If you was to come up on it, you wouldn't see it until you got to the car. You know what I mean? So it was pretty intense. It's been a long time. So yeah, like, winter weather is intense, but you just have to slow down, take your time, safety first, pay attention to the signages, because it's going to tell you if it's safe for you to keep going, if you need chains, if you need to, you know, get off for a little while, if it's too windy ahead. Like, there's all type of signage, which you probably don't realize when you're in the car, but most of the signages on the road are for truckers. Like, it's letting us know what's going on ahead, what to prepare for, what to look out for. You want to, even in the trip planning, you want to look up the weather of the states that you're going to. Amazon's really good at that. Like, it'll tell me on my tour, as I can see my schedule for the 2 days that I'm going to be out, it'll tell me, oh, weather. This Amazon store, you got to prepare for weather. Before I leave, it'll say, it makes me acknowledge that, hey, in 112 miles, you're going to run into some snow. We just want to let you know to prepare for this. Boom, boom, boom. Like, okay, bet. You know what I mean? So I'm already aware. But if that's not the case, then as you trip plan, you want to be checking the weather app. Because in the trip planning, you know what states you're going to go through, right? Like, you're going to get on Keep Trucking, I want to say that's the app. And you're going to put in your destination, and it's going to tell you the truck stops that's along your route. So the truck stops will essentially tell you the states, you know what I mean, that you're going to be going through. So you want to look up the weather in those states to see if it's snowing, see what's going on. You know what I mean? You also want to make sure you are staying in contact with your dispatcher and the drivers that's on your route, because that's on your same account or whatever you got going on, because they can tell you too. Like, they know, because drivers are in it in real time. You know what I mean? And they're saying, like, yo, this is going on in Kansas, this is going on over here in Montana, this is going on da. So you'll be prepared. You can't prepare for everything, because sometimes I've been in situations when I was over the road where it'll start. It seemed like somebody was dumping like gallons of water on top of just me. Like, I couldn't even see. I'm driving, everything was good, and next thing I know, like, it's just raining cats and dogs, and I can barely see, and I gotta pull over, or I gotta. So another thing that happens too is, like, there's spots of weather, right? Like, it's weird. I don't know. Depending on where you're from, this will make sense. But if you don't have no clue, like, I lived in Vegas for the past like 20 years. Before that, I lived in LA, Cali. So we don't have too much weather going on. It's hot or it's cold or it's raining. That's it. And it don't even rain like that. It'd be like sprinkling, like, you know what I mean? Like, so there'll be moments where, like, even last night, I would drive through some snow for maybe like 30 minutes, and then it'll be completely clear and dry. And then out, and then for like 20 minutes, it'll be raining, and then it'll be snow again for maybe like an hour. then it'll be completely dry. Then I got all the way to Salt Lake City, and it was just like a little bit of rain and a little bit of wet, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it's not actually snowing in Salt Lake City. That's perfect. Last night, by the time I was done driving, it was snowing. I had dropped off my last trailer in the snow. Like, it was straight snowing. And I put on the thinnest. I knew I was coming to Utah and it was going to be cold, but the fact that it's March, it's about to be, spring? I put on this little thin, little hoodie shirt real quick. Child, I was freezing. I was like, oh my God. So, like, sometimes, let's say if it's, if you see a sign that say it's windy or, you know, bad weather up ahead, sometimes it's just a stretch of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you can, if it's safe to do so and you feel comfortable driving through wind, because it's not the easiest thing. And if you're empty, you do not want to drive through wind at all, because you're prone to get flipped up. You don't have no weight that can hold you down. You know what I mean? So if you feel comfortable driving through the wind, sometimes it's only about good 20 miles. So if you could get through that, you'll be fine. Once you get past 20 miles, you're good to go. Because, like I said, everything in trucking is about speed. If those tires ain't moving, you're not getting paid. So instead of, you don't want to be the type of trucker, I'm telling you now, you don't want to be the type of trucker that is pulling over for every little thing. You know, this is a job where you have to push yourself. You have to do things that's a little uncomfortable. You have to do things that, you know, are a little scary at times. I'm not gonna hold you, but as long as you slow down, you be safe, you paying attention to the signages and stuff, you are watching other truckers, not the ones that's speeding and doing the most, but you're watching the ones that are being safe. If they got their hazard lights on, turn your hazard lights on. You know what I mean? Like, if they're staying to the right, stay to the right. If you see them suddenly get to the left, you might want to get to the left, because that means something's going on the shoulder or something. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of just want to pay attention to other truckers, because they'll give you signals of what's happening ahead and what's going on with what you can't see. Sometimes they have, like, the super truckers, which when you see a super trucker, you'll know they have all they truck lit up. They got 5011 lights on their tractor, 5011 lights on their trailer. The super truckers, they got CB radios, so they could talk to other truckers and you know, they know what's going on up ahead. They'll say, hey, I'm on my way to Montana. I'm on this freeway. You know, can anybody tell me what's going on up there? And somebody else will get on the radio and say, oh yeah, I just left from that direction, blah blah blah, this is what's happening, B, watch out for this, watch out for that, da, da, da. You know what I mean? Like, so they'll know what's happening. So if you want to watch other truckers and see, you know, how they're responding to the weather conditions and how they're responding to the road conditions, and you know, what's going on around them, you know what I mean? And you follow suit. I'm telling you, when you want to follow suit. So one of them is the weather. That's the con. That's a con. That's a thing that will be different and scary, but it's not that bad, and it makes you such a strong driver. It teaches you things about driving that you wouldn't get unless you became a trucker. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, it helps you appreciate, like, the defensiveness that you need in driving, because these roads are crazy. These people, like, can't drive for real. And you'll ask them and they say they've been driving for years, but you can't tell when you see the crazy things they be doing, and as distracted they be on these roads sometimes. Like, you can see them, because we sit so high, you can see them just texting, just living their best lives on their phone while they driving. Like, let me get away from you. Like, what in the world? Like, and then you'll see them up the road pulled over or turned over somewhere, and you're like, yeah, I see you right here texting and being a goofy. Like, I know why that happened. But so the cons will be being a fake mechanic. That's what me and my trucker friend say. It's so funny, but I'm telling you, it works. When you ready to go and you can keep moving, when you got to be stuck on the side of the road, man, that sucks. And you know it for like being in your car, like being stuck. It's like, dang, like now you got to sit here and wait for Geico or whoever, you know what I mean, AAA, whoever you need to come. Like, and trucking is 10 times worse. It's like, oh no, like, oh no, like I'm telling you, it's not good. So you have to be a fake mechanic. That is so funny. You need tools like hammers, screwdrivers, crowbars, bars. Actually, somebody need this is for like, this is a tire thumper and a trailer door opener. Like you put sometimes the trailer doors are too hard to open. You got to put this in there and it'll assist you in, you know, opening the trailer door. I'm telling you, you never know when you would need something like this. Like I've probably only needed one time, but that one time will save your life. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. Look, wire cutters, cut the seals. Amazon has really they're not thick seals, but I thought I had one in here. Oh, I think I do got one. Oh, there we go. Look, cut these seals off. You know, so you can open the trailer and open the doors before you dock it. You know, you need like different tools for this job, you know. So being a fake mechanic, the weather, long hours, I've mentioned that. We work up to 14 hours a day, drive 11, work up to 14. And the working part is the dropping and hooking of the trailer, checking in to shippers and stuff like that. If anything happens with the truck, you want to be on duty. You want to do that on duty. Like if you do need to fix something, change. Oh, we carry fuses because if any lights on the truck is out, we got to go into the little area over here in the fuse box and change the fuse, because you can't be out here driving with no lights. Your trailer ain't got no lights. If your here go another fake mechanic thing. If your headlights go out, you should have extra light bulbs in here. Is you gotta open up the hood and you gotta change that light. Is you can't drive like that. DOT pull you over so fast, shut you all the way down. You'll be done. Can't go nowhere. Like if the essential things around this truck ain't happening, like for example, if my little magnet would have fell off the side, because you're supposed to have your name on both sides of the truck. If that thing would have fell off and I go through a DOT scale, shut down. Violation or shut down, or both. But violation goes towards your company, and you could get a citation for that. And citations, just in case you don't know, when you're a trucker, are double like regular citations. So if you get a speeding ticket, if you get a whatever ticket in your regular car or your truck, double, because you're a professional driver. You have a special license. You were trained. You know what I mean? Like you're held to a higher standard. So think about that. Think about that in your car. If you got a problem with speeding, you might want to fix that. Got a problem with tickets and stuff, you might want to fix that, because you're going to be paying double. I've gotten one ticket in the 7 years I've driven. That ticket was $750. I was sick. I was like, it's my first offense. Like, y'all can't let me slide. Like, they was like, oh no ma'am. I was like, okay. But yeah, $750. I forgot. I had passed the scale. I did it on purpose. I ain't gonna hold you. I was trying to act like I didn't, but I did. And I got. Now I don't pass no scales. I'm telling you right now, don't pass no scales. Okay. They got a little thing, your company. If you work for the big companies, they got a little thing that'll give you a signal, a green signal if you could pass it, a red signal if you got to go in. If you got to go in. Because look, I ain't know this. There's a pole that's over, like, so when you pass the scale, there's like a thing that you go under. That thing, like, reads the little device in your truck that tells you if you can go or not, or if you don't got one at all, it's gonna say, I mean, I guess it'll tell them that you ain't got one, or you were supposed to stop or whatever. But yeah, it's this thing that you go under. I thought they wouldn't know. That's why I did it. I was like, man, they not about to know, because my little thing turned red to tell me to go in. I was like, man, they not gonna know if I'm going up in there. Like, whatever, I'm about to go. I'm about to just pass it. It was windy anyways. Like, I was like, they not worried about me. Yeah, right. They pulled me soon as I passed it. The officer must have got right in the car, because I didn't even get all the way past the like where they come out at the exit of the scale. He pulled me over right there. I said, he came right to the window and looked at my little device and was like, you know, you didn't see the red telling you to come in the scale? I was like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, come on, I ain't got no excuses. Like, there's no excuse. I really thought y'all wasn't gonna get me. Like, I thought, you know, it really didn't matter. I'm telling you, go in them scales, okay? As long as you do, look, check this out. As long as you do a proper pre-trip, and like I said, if you work for a big company, they're gonna make sure their trucks are good, because not only do those DOT scales fall on you, it falls on them too. So as long as you're doing proper pre-trips and everything is good, like your lights is working, like all the basic things, your lights is working, your brakes is not leaking, you know what I mean? The trailer is good, trailer lights is working, you got your license, your registration, and your medical, you're good. They don't even be doing no crazy inspections like that. They really don't. They check your lights, check the they go under and make sure the air brakes ain't leaking, and they make sure you got your license. That really be it. So it ain't even like, I go through scales now. I don't even trip off if they need me to if they pull me in or not. Like, I got my little folder. You'll have like a little binder with all the paperwork you need in there, all the permits, your registration, your license, everything. Give them that. They be done in like 5 minutes. They don't even hold you up. They just probably got to get so many inspections done a day, and they just be trying to meet their little quota for the day or whatever. You know what I mean? It's really not even that serious. It's that 5 minutes, I'm telling you, ain't worth $750. Don't get that $750. Woo! Don't do it. Another thing too, working for a company, like, their trucks are governed, so it forces you to learn how to drive safe as possible. Because of course, like, after a while, you're gonna get a little comfortable. You know what I mean? You gonna want to speed and you can't even go that fast. You can't even go. Amazon, we can't go over 65. We just like Swift. We don't go over 65. Even though some of the freeways, like the 80, you could go 80. On the way here to Utah. Actually, the speed limit in Utah, like once you get out of like the city part, is like 70. Their speed limit is 70. When I'm on the road going back to Vegas, like in the middle of nowhere, the speed limit is 80. I still can't go no faster than 65. But that's good, because I be seeing some of these trucks flying, and I be like, I wouldn't even want to go that fast in no truck. Like, that's crazy. Like, heck no. And I ain't never had no accident. Never had no issues. I ain't never slid off the road. I ain't never jackknifed. I ain't never almost slid off the road, almost jackknifed, because of that governor. So I appreciate the governor. I'm not even gonna hold you. And as a new driver, you will too, when you see some of these drivers, how they drive, and then you see the accidents that they end up being in, because you gonna see it, and it's gonna reinforce that safety, and for you to slow down, and for you to take your time, and for you to, you know, just be as safe as possible. So, okay, I think I'll have a part 2, because I'm sure there's some more things, but those are the first 3 I could think about, is being the fake mechanic, the long hours, 14-hour days, 11 hours, up to 11 hours of driving, and the weather conditions that are mandatory for your first year. Like, if you want to be an efficient, like the best driver, and maximize your paychecks and the amount of money that you make in trucking, I'm telling you, you're gonna want to at least do a winter and just gain and just develop those skills that come with the different seasonal driving, you know what I mean? Because you learn different things about the truck, you learn different, you know what I mean, like different things are gonna happen and take place, and you want to know. I've been driving for 7 years, and I just learned. I tried to the last time I was in Utah, for example, I tried to pull into this truck stop, and I got stuck because the driveway was too icy, and in my truck, like I couldn't move, like the tires wasn't touching the ground for me to like go and make it. Like it was like a slight little hill or whatever, and I couldn't make it. And I'm like, oh my God, like I couldn't reverse, I couldn't do nothing because the tires wasn't touching the ground. It was too slippery. I'm like, oh my God. A trucker got out and was like, do you have some buttons? I don't even know. I think this is it right here. The inner axle. He was like, do you have those buttons in your truck? I'm like, yeah. Because there's a bunch of buttons right here. And like, I only know the air slide, the suspension, the kingpin, like all the lights and stuff like that. But it was these two that I've never had to use them before. And you really don't. It's a lot of things that this truck have that you don't know until it's here for a reason. Like it's here to help you when you get into some stuff. So those might be the only two buttons that I never, because now that I'm looking at everything, I know everything. I know all these buttons except for that one that he just showed me when I was in Utah last month, and I got stuck because I couldn't get up. So he was like, oh, you got two of them. He's like, that's perfect. Like some trucks only got one. Like this only got one. I'm driving a Freightliner right now. I was driving a Peterbilt at the time, and it had two of them. He was like, hit that, and it's gonna lock your tires. And he was like, I'm telling you. He was like, put it in reverse, back up a little bit. And he was like, and then when you put it in drive, just go. Like push down, push the pedal, so you know it could make it up. You know, it can go forward. I'm like, bet. Hit it, perfect. Back up a little bit, start going. I was like, oh, thank you, man. I thought I was stuck. Like